another video with new stories from Ethiopia. Firstly, after Friday prayer, Muslims took to the streets across Ethiopia. In Addis Ababa, there was a grand Iftar program. Thousands of Muslims took part in this Iftar program. Balderas party has released a very strong statement against this Iftar program organized in the capital of Ethiopia. Second news story is a bit disturbing one. It's from Silte zone of the SNNPR. While we are condemning what happened in Gondar, where more than 20 Muslims were killed, we must condemn what happened in Silte. I am not talking about the churches in Silte, two at least, which were set on fire. An other incident happened which must be condemned, viewers. Third news story is about a statement, a message from a US congressman, Sherman, who is seen as a supporter of Tigray People Liberation Front. He today said that he refused to co-host a reception program for Ahmed Shide, Ethiopian Finance Minister, who visited the US a few days ago. Lastly, we have a video clip for you from Tigray's capital, Mekelle. The video clip shows the plight of a university lecturer. He is a lecturer at Tigray's Mekelle University. Firstly, viewers, we know that on Friday, Muslims were planning to take out rallies, to hold protests against Gondar incident. What happened? Yes, across Ethiopia, in several parts of Ethiopia, we saw large protests. Protests were held in Sherman, which is in Oromia, in Jarrar, which is in the Somali region of Ethiopia, in Deir Deva, in Addis Ababa, in several other parts of Ethiopia. Large rallies were seen in support of Gondar Muslims, condemning the killing of Muslim community members in Gondar. On Tuesday, more than 20 Muslims were killed in Gondar. In Addis Ababa, Muslims organized a grand Iftar program in the open at a square in the capital city of Addis Ababa. Thousands of Muslims participated, and reportedly some came from abroad as well. Addis Ababa Deputy Mayor Jantirar Abi also took part in this program, and he addressed the participants as well. He appreciated them for showing calm, and he urged them to show restraint and to work for peace. Now, Balderas party has released a very strong statement against this Iftar program, which was organized to break fast. Balderas party says that it is a jihadist project. Iftar is a jihadist project. It will lead to ethnic conflict in Ethiopia. Party says that Addis Ababa government is supporting such programs and it is going to have serious consequences for ethnic harmony in Addis Ababa in Ethiopia. So Balderas is opposing this Iftar program organized in Addis Ababa. But Balderas never opposed any Christian gatherings which are held in Ethiopia. So if you ban a Muslim gathering, you should ban Christian and other religious gatherings too in Ethiopia. I don't agree with Balderas' statements. Having said that, all religious gatherings, all religious programs, whether Christian, Muslim, or other religions programs. Whenever they are organized in public, they become a source of problem, a source of distress for the people. Residents of the area where these programs are organized, they suffer a lot. Roads are closed, and checkpoints are established by security forces. So it creates problems for the residents of the area. The second news story is from Silte, Silte zone of SNNPR, where we saw a reaction against what happened in Gondar. In Silte, Muslims protested, a large rally was taken out. At least 2 churches have been set on fire. In a previous video, I reported about a church in Varabe and a church in Senkora. At least 2 have been set on fire. It has been confirmed. Another incident happened, very less reported, which should be reported. It happened in Silte, it must be condemned. What happened? There was a Christian youth was tortured to death in public. Death by lynching, we call it. Like we saw in Benishangal Gumas, that Tigrayans were burnt alive there. In Silte, a Christian youth was stoned to death, tortured to death in public. And some Muslims were chanting slogans, Allahu Akbar, while killing the Christian youth. It shouldn't have happened. It should be condemned. Like we are condemning what happened in Gondar, that 20 innocent Muslims, more than 20, they were killed. We should condemn what happened in Silte. I have video, I have pictures of this incident, very graphic. Not showing these videos, pictures to you, but we have confirmed that an incident of lynching happened in Silte. It shouldn't have happened. Muslim community must condemn what happened in Silte. SNNPR government, regional government has released a statement. It says that it won't tolerate such incidents and perpetrators will be brought to justice. Yes, they should be brought to justice. Thirdly, third news story is about a US Congressman, Brad Sherman, who introduced HR 6600, a bill passed by US House Foreign Affairs Committee. The bill proposes sanctions on Ethiopian government. The bill will be considered by US House in coming weeks or months. He is seen as a TPLF supporter. Ethiopian diaspora community, pro-Ethiopian government has protested in front of the office of Brad Sherman. Harmila Regavi led some protests in front of Brad Sherman's office, and Arika Rhodes and other, not a congressman, she is contesting an election against Brad Sherman. She also participated in the protest against Brad Sherman in front of Brad Sherman's office. Now, Brad Sherman just an hour ago spoke. He says that he was invited to a reception program organized to welcome Ahmed Shide, Ethiopian Finance Minister, and Fitsum Araga, Ethiopian ambassador to US. But he declined. He refused to co-host this reception. Why did he refuse to be part of the program? He says that I will not break bread with a minister of a government that has a food blockade to kill thousands of its civilians. Now, who sent invitation to Brad Sherman to co-host the program? Jack Kingston is a former US congressman. and he is part of a lobbying firm. The lobbying firm was hired by Ethiopian government a few days ago. So the lobbying firm organized a program. It invited Brad Sherman, Ahmed Shide and Fetsam Araga were due to attend the program. But Brad Sherman refused to be part of the program, saying that his principled stand against Ethiopian government was that the government was involved in killing its own civilians. Now, I don't think that Brad Sherman was in a position to attend this program because it was being hosted by a lobbying firm. Having said that, you should never refuse meetings with other parties, the parties you disagree with. It's not a sign of having a principled stand. Communication channels should never be cut off. The world wants to talk to Russia. You see what's happening in Ukraine. Still, Macron in touch with Putin. Turkey in touch with Putin. We have seen talks between Joe Biden and Putin, other world leaders. So isolation never works. It leads to further alienation and further confrontation. Brad Sherman is a congressman. He is not a lobbyist. He is not an activist. He is not an activist. I think Brad Sherman is trying to take credit for something which he was supposed to do. He knew that Jack Kingston was a lobbyist and attending the program could harm his position about Ethiopian conflict. So I think he should not be an activist. He is a US congressman and he might meet Ethiopian government officials in future. They might have a meeting in the past as well. Why is he taking credit for something which he was supposed to do? It's not something extraordinary done by Brad Sherman. Lastly, viewers, we have a video clip for you from Mekelle, Tigray's capital. Mekelle University staff is unpaid for months because university is under federal government. Federal government is not releasing funds. Reportedly, university staff have not been paid salaries for months. We have a video clip of a lecturer who has a family of 6 persons. He works at Mekelle University, but he is unpaid for around 3 months. Watch this video clip. Thank you for watching.
Alfreda is one of the supportive staff in Mekelle University and a resident of Mekelle City. He runs a family of 6 children. He said his and his family's life has turned into misery as a result of the blockade that has discontinued his salary.
I have barely thought my life would turn into this. Before the onset of the war, I was pursuing my PhD. My plan was to finish my PhD and to build my own house. Now, my family and I are starved. This is because I wasn't paid my salary for the past 10 months. We spend our days begging close relatives to cover our endless meat.